Heartbreaker, you got the best of me, but I just kept on reading, even digitally. Oh, I even went and bought the trade, you see. I should have known right from the start you'd go and break my heart. We got canceled. That's what that's all about. Issue number 12 will be the final issue of Riri Williams' Ironheart. We'll have to wait until May and June until we get Iron Man 2020, which is an event I wasn't going to read because it's featuring Arnold Stark and it's not up my wheelhouse. But I guess I'm going to have to now because in May and June, there will be an Ironheart comic, too, actually. And it'll be about that event. So they made a customer out of me. Darn it. I don't want to swear. I know kids watch this stuff. That's my new initiative here on Showmonger. No more swearing. We'll see how far we go. Let's just begin with the comic. After that long introduction, which I criticize every other YouTuber for doing. So let's start with the artwork on top. Cover artist is Luciano Vecchio. Now, a couple things. First thing out of the way. There's this image where it's a round stone, and then there's this image here I'm showing you in the book where it's flat on top. Consistency. It was the same artist. And then there's the RI. It's not Ari Williams or any of the other suggestions from the comment section of last month's video. It's Demetrius. You see that shadow there? And there's I was let down. There's a shadow also there to the left and to the right. So it's Demetrius. And Demetrius is short for Riri is short for Demetrius, which as soon as I heard that, alarms went in my head ringing. So this is Invisible Iron Man issue number 7, where the SHIELD agents are talking about her up there. Obviously you can't see it because lighting and all that. But they ask her, Riri, is it short for something? Nope. That is the name on her birth certificate. And I was thinking, well, they always said Riri wasn't short for something. And here, Riri's short for Demetrius. Well, what do the SHIELD agents know? Just what they see on documents on file. And whoever would take Riri out of Demetrius. So this is a self-contained, like a problem that I introduced that I wanted to correct, and then I fact-check myself. So welcome to the brain of Showmonger, where we identify things and try to look for reasons why it's a contradiction. It wasn't at all. Talked about the cover, look, I also like this. That Geico ad, yeah, just put it in there, all right? I'll actually read it this time. Everyone else putting it right in the middle like I care. I'm trying to read comic book when I get to the middle of my comic. I have like an ad blocker like installed in here where when I see them, it's gone. Like, you know, the first 10 seconds of a YouTube video, if you're watching on your computer, there's that ad right there. I instinctively move my mouse to that sector of the screen so that when it comes up in 10 minutes, my mouse is already there to click. When I see a new video, I always move it to the skip ad place because 5 seconds for later, I'm going to be skipping ad. Unless it's a YouTuber who I enjoy, I want them to get paid, and I'll watch the ad. So remember that when I reach my 1,000 YouTube subscribers and I can actually make money off YouTube, remember that. And remember me and like my video because I've been doing this for free since January 8th, where the first comic book I reviewed was Ironheart. So this has been founded on this comic book. My channel will not be the same when this gets canceled. This is going to be the end of an era. Okay, enough bickering. Easter eggs on this page. I can see that she is in a picture with someone named Xandria, Riri and Xandria. And also there's the initial shock when she sees the picture of what her dad looks like. She's already thinking that's my dad, even before the parents confirm that. That strengthens when Silhouette saw her pops. And she said, that's gotta be your dad, Riri. Like instantly, because they look so similar, that makes that stronger. Like her certainty of that's your dad, which is ridiculous to look at someone's face and say, oh, that person's related to that person. Because it's just silly, right? Things that I'm thinking of is Rock Lee and Guy Sensei on the TV show Naruto. If you were to look at them, you'd say one is father, one is son, but it's not the case. You just can't tell unless you do blood work, unless you see pictures. But yeah, with her being like, oh, that's definitely my dad, which he does look just like Riri with mascara, eyeliner. What do you call that thing? Eyeliner or mascara? That thing there? That's what he looks like. This threw Riri off her balance. You see this image here? It reminds me of this image here, which is just the R. Kelly Trapped in the Closet instrumental. She's from Chicago, right? Right? No? Canceled? R. Kelly? No? My bad. But with that picture, she's off, right? This is now the Silhouette, Okoye, and Shuri comic book for the next few pages. I took issue with Shuri using her Kimoyo bead to hack into Ironheart's system. Only guy I would accept that from would be Tony. And even then, this is some alien space technology that has nothing to do with Earth. I just don't like. Maybe they coordinated their, I guess, internet accesses. I like to think that Riri has her own internet that's like off. It acts like a wireless connection that isn't connected to the internet, and Wakanda probably has 17 of them. Like that's how I like to think of my super geniuses. I don't like that they are synced up, but regardless, they're doing some surveillance work on them. One of them people is Tomo, Tomoe. This is a villain from issue 4, since I'm naming things off the top of my head. That's over there on my shelf, which I didn't pick up when I prepared this review. But that's her that she saw when she was fighting up on that roof, those ninjas. These are Tony's villains again. But here she is. This is feeling like it's a culmination of of Riri Williams, all 31 of her issues, the 20 from Iron Man and then the 11 from here. This is big. And um we got a problem where in comic books would have all of these things happen to this one character, like Spider-Man fighting all of these villains in New York who are animal based. This is the Hunted storyline. But the writer of that comic, just like the writer of this comic, is trying their best to explain why only these heroes are dealing with it. It's because there's a big dome covering the targeted area, or it's in a secret nation like Wakanda, and they bring up, what about if we get all of the Avengers? Let's get other people, and it's shot down because time constraints. What was their reason in this comic? They had a reason in this comic of why they couldn't do it, but they brought it up. Captain Marvel, when she was facing issue 1 to number 5 of this year, when she was facing Nuclear Man, well, why couldn't they call everyone? Well, because most of the Avengers are men, and this was only a woman thing. It was like literally only a woman thing based on the story of the plot. So like it worked. So I like when I just like that Tomo was in this. Midnight's Fire is in this, and Dune is in this. And I learned Dune is one of the. It's an Earth-related word. So Ewing went into her thesaurus to get that out, but a Google search took care of me. Dune. He's got powers to move the Earth. He's not cooperative with his teammates. We got this image here where he's threatening to whoop one of them's asses until they apologize. So he's kind of a boss. And here, when he says the word y'all, this provided a sound to his voice. That's how I'll read him. Before, because of the way he was dressed, I'm thinking, yo, he's a mage. He's this wise person who's speaking in a low tone. No, he's from Chicago. Just like R. Kelly. No R. Kelly today? It's R. Kelly. Okay, we move on to Riri Williams, who's not in Illinois, but still in an R. Kelly state. And then we get this next page where the artwork is doing all of the storytelling. I'll show you on the paper. Look how she's traumatized. She's looking at him, trying to make sure that's facial recognition, which confirms why they're so identical. That Silhouette saw him and confirmed that it was Pops. And then the background of the art. We've been spotted. Let's go get them. I love that. We got 20 pages of storytelling to do on our comic book, if that's the way you want to think of it. But when Ewing is writing, when the good comic writers are doing it, Jason Aaron, who just did Marauders last week, Jerry Dugan, when they're writing comic books, they let that artwork speak. Oh, Brian Michael Bendis, when I read his comic from, it would have been yesterday, but I posted it earlier today. That comic was great for the visual storytelling. So I love that shit. Let's talk about Silhouetto. Now we move to my favorite part of the comic where Silhouette says they spotted me run. Okoye says we don't run. And this looks great. Everyone's in their fighting stance. Silhouette's strapped in. Riri's out of her coma. Madness. She can snap at any moment. If you know where that's from, you're going to write in the comment section where that's from. What did I just reference? Okay, then if you insist, we fight over here. And then they get into this big battle. And it looks good. We got everything that I want. We got the full page of them fighting. We got that double page of them fighting. This is where Tomo reveals herself, and Riri mentions that she's seen her before, and it looks great. They get handcuffed, and here's an issue with something. Riri's all tied up with their handcuffs, and the very next page, just like they are defeated and they're in a line, and they're like, okay, walk to your prison cells. And then Ironheart just decides, I'm going to explode these handcuffs and fight. Like, well, what's going on? Now, in the battle with the villains, they are never, her and her dad are never actually touching each other. And I was looking for that. They never, until this part of the comic where they actually break out. Before I get to that, Aaron, Midnight's Fire says, yo, be gentle with my sister, misguided though she may be. Why do you care about your family? And if family is such an important thing to you, you know who Riri is. Are you ignorant to her being the son of Demetrius? Demetrius, it appears, we find out by the end, while I was reading, I didn't know whether or not he knew he was effing with Ironheart was Riri Williams. I didn't know, but it appears that he didn't. So, with family being so important to these folks, Aaron is an asshole right now for not telling Demetrius. I said I wasn't gonna swear, and I said the word asshole. I said it twice now. So Aaron is a bad guy, like supremely bad for actually wanting to do that. But then also, why write that? Why be gentle with my sister, misguided though she may be? Is he gonna die in the next issue and I'm supposed to feel a little bit of sympathy for this character? Because at least, as dark as he is, he wants to do the right thing and he still cares about his family. Sometimes it's a little bit, you're too far gone for me. Like Han Solo in Star Wars. It's not a spoiler. The movie's been out for 3 years now. Look, when he does what he does to Han Solo, when Ben Solo takes care of his dad, and then when it comes to The Last Jedi, he's about to kill his mom and says, "Nah, I'm not going to kill my mom." That did nothing for me. You already got rid of a character who was beloved for 40 years. Well, not 40 years for me, but like someone who we care about so much that one little thing of not killing your mom, that decision isn't going to sway my thoughts. Same with Midnight's Fire over here. Just because you care about your sister at this moment when she's being incarcerated, that doesn't change the way I feel about you. I'm still very much in hate with you. So yeah, after the breakout, she reveals I'm your daughter. I like the artwork in the background. It could have just been a blank page, but there's also the reaction shot of Fire, of Tomo up in here, and Eclipse is the other one. So the artwork was the strength of this comic book, even though Demetrius looked like Riri with eyeliner. That's the point. He's Hiri. He's Demetrius, and he's the dad. So that's the idea of it. The skin color of every character was the same. And here's everything I have to say about that. People can have the same skin color. The Hala thing, the Stone of Hala being brought back in the comic was great because now it makes the Invincible Iron Man from, what's that, issue number 8, where the Doctor Strange issue, that makes that much more important. It makes that much more useful to my collection. Now I can look back at that and it'll have extra meaning. So even what I would consider the bad issues of this comic, which would have been the zombie one where Eclipse actually shows up. Well, it turns out she's kind of important and she's in this issue. And that one, issue 6 wasn't too strong. That would be the Miles Morales one. But that was like, you're allowed to have one of those. That wasn't too strong, but it wasn't bad either. When you like something and you're trying to justify why it's good, I don't need to do that here. It's subjective, right? If you liked it, you didn't like it. This is a well-regarded, critically acclaimed, if you want to call them critics, but everyone I watch on YouTube, the people who talk about this book, besides Brevin Campbell, me, Comic Book University, I think those are the only 3 who actually talk about this comic anymore. And then there's the rest of the internet who, you know how they can be. So even them are saying nice things about this comic book, which is like enlightening. I just saw the sales on Comic-Con from last month to this month, and the sales shot up from 900 and something issues to 1,000 and something issues that were distributed by Diamond Comics, the North American retailer. Were they retailer? They're the distributor. I'm trying to use big words and I fail. I don't have a thesaurus in my head like Dr. Ewing, but that's okay because Dr. Ewing is going to be writing more, I think she said in her tweet. And I hope she's the one who writes Moira X. They've been keeping that a secret. That's just a hope. I hope that Vecchio, he is continuing this comic, right? We'll see where it goes, man. I'm fairly upset that this has been canceled. Just like Champions has been canceled. Like, I'm not going to have a lot of Riri in my life until May. At least that's something I'm looking forward to because these issues, I love getting into the nitty gritty of them. I read these more in depth than I read X-Men and more in depth than I read what's even second. It's really just Ironheart and X-Men, which I'm like a super fan of. Everybody else is fine and I'll enjoy them, but I could also drop them. Like Ms. Marvel, I'm not really enjoying Ms. Marvel. I think I did drop. I didn't read issue number 8. I didn't do a review for it, even though I have it. Maybe I will later on if I feel bored this week because I only picked up Excalibur this week and I picked up Silver Surfer Black this week. It's going to be a short week. Hence the Naomi video I felt like I should do when I saw that. There's not a lot of comics I'm reviewing. I'm rambling. I would like to thank everyone for watching my video as usual. Leave a thumbs up if you really like me. If you love me, then subscribe to my channel. And if you want to marry me, nah, it's the internet. I don't know you.